Hey, I'm JD. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and please hit like. So this is the first video in a little bit of an adventure. The problem I've had is that this watch, this is a very nice Vanguard pocket watch. It's a Waltham Vanguard. It has a wind indicator up here and your normal sub-dial seconds hand or sunken dial seconds hand and everything else. This watch started with the broken pivot on the balance, and the what do they call it? A balance staff had to be replaced, and it was a replaceable balance staff. It's a certain type of balance staff, removable and replaceable. And the balance itself has a hub that you stake the balance staff into, so that job was done. The second problem this watch had is that the pallet fork had two broken pivots. So I actually sourced a new pallet fork. I didn't think there was any way I could fix it, and you can see the old pallet fork over here. And then as I went through the watch and started assembling it, and I got it largely assembled, if I can just remove some of these pieces here very carefully on the edge. Largely assembled, I did not realize that the escapement wheel also had a problem. It had a broken bottom pivot. So that was a new issue with this watch, and I'll just actively give you a little close-up of that. So here is the escapement wheel here. I went to Dave Coatsworth and said, do you have one of these escapement wheels? He said yes. He does. The lower pivot on this thing, and I wrote it down, kind of hacked it down, is a 0.14 millimeter pivot, and the shaft itself is 0.5 millimeters. And if you can just focus on that lower pivot, you can see on the right hand side, it cones down and then disappears. There's no pivot there. So I thought, okay, I could just buy the part. The part is 20 bucks US, plus shipping is another 10 bucks US, so it's 30 bucks US, and that's going to add up to about, well, it's 30 bucks US, so I'd have to buy that. So I thought, okay, as a learning exercise, and I've done this before, can I repivot this lower shaft? Now, to repivot the lower shaft, you have to have enough material after you drill the hole to hold the new pivot. And the pivot I'd make out of blued steel, and I've shown before in another video how to do that. I think this would be one of the smaller pivots I've ever done. So the first thing would be to chuck this up in my lathe, and then I've got a special configuration for pivoting that I've used before many times. The other challenge here then would be to drill the hole. So I thought, okay, I've got 0.3 millimeter drill bits, but let me just flip over here. All right, a little bit of artwork here. So if this is the escapement wheel itself, I'll just draw it like this, and it has all its little feet as it goes around like this. And we'll say this side here is the side that has got the pinion on it. There's the pinion there, and then it goes out like this, and then there's a pivot on the end like that. So this pivot looks to be intact on this side. And then as I go, just move this over a bit, as I go down this way here, and I'll just draw the shaft here. I'm drawing it way bigger than it is, by the way. It's a little shorter than that. The shaft goes down like this, and the taper starts, but then the pivot is broken off right there. So you normally have a pivot like this, and that pivot is missing. So what I would need to do is there's the escapement wheel itself. There's the pinion again. Did I tell you I'm not an artist? So I am an engineer though. So there's that side there. And then what I need to do is first, and I'll say this is a shaft here. It's the same size as this shaft here. I'd need to face off the shaft, so cut away the part that's tapered. So I'd face off the shaft like that on my lathe. Once I'd have the shaft faced off, I'd have to take a graver and make a little tiny bit of a cone on here to find center. And then once I found center, I do have a device. I keep calling it a dog, but it's not really a dog. But it's got, if you look at it like this, it's got a bunch of, it's a steel plate, and the holes are progressively smaller as they go around. And these holes line up perfectly centered with the center. So when I put this shaft into one of these holes, it completely aligns it and centers it and stabilizes it, so you can start drilling. So when I drill, I'm going to drill a hole in here, and I'm kind of going to estimate the depth. But because this wheel is sandwiched between two joule settings, I don't have to concern myself about having the depth, like a really long depth, to stabilize the new pivot. So what I'll do is I'll drill the hole, and my concern was the wall along the diameter of this shaft. Is the wall thick enough to stabilize the pivot that's in there? So the actual 0.5, that's upside down, sorry, but the wall, the shaft itself is 0.5 millimeters. So I thought, okay, if you put a hole in there, half of 0.5 is 0.25, right? So if I look at this like this, and I've got the actual, just draw this here, I've got the hole here. I want the wall, I want enough wall between here and here to be able to support the pivot that's going to be in the middle and not crack, right? So I thought, okay, if I do use a 0.3 millimeter drill bit, and I drill in 0.3 millimeters, I'm going to end up, if you look at the shaft like this, and I'm going to end up with 2 millimeters remaining, which means the wall itself is going to be 0.1 millimeters, right, around. So a little bit afraid of that, and I know that the pivot, the pivot itself, I measured the older pivot, this one here, and I know that pivot is it measured around 0.14 millimeters, which makes sense because it's an escapement wheel. It's not a balance staff pivot. So 0.1 millimeters. So I thought, okay, if I drill a hole that's 0.2 millimeters as a 0.3 with my drill bits, and realizing that there's going to be other material removed, so you're going to be at 0.2 millimeters plus a little bit, so you're going to end up, and I'll turn this around later, I guess, you're going to end up with say 0.22 as the hole size, because you cannot, it'll take a little bit more material out than the diameter of the drill bit. So I figured, okay, I'm going to go use a 0.2 millimeter drill bit, and that gives me 0.3 millimeters remaining, and half of 0.3 is 0.15. So my hole here, or my diameter here, is 0.15 all the way around. So 0.15 millimeters should be enough to support a pivot sticking out. That'd be the pivot coming out of here, and give it enough strength. So this will end up being a 0.2 millimeter hole, which will be probably 0.21 or 0.22 millimeters, which will give me a diameter of 0.15 or maybe 0.14 millimeter diameter here. So that seems to all make sense. So the next thing I had to do is I source some drill bits that were 0.2 millimeter in size. So there they are. I sourced the 0.2 millimeter drill bit, and to prepare the drill bit, I'm not sure whether I'll do this or not. I got to think about it, but I've often taken the drill bit and snapped it off first to start the drilling, to give it more strength, because at this length of the drill bit it loses a lot of its strength. So theoretically it's the same strength, but when you're torquing the tip of the drill bit, it's likely to cause it to break somewhere in the middle, and then leave the drill bit in the hole. And you don't want to leave the drill bit into the in the hole of the shaft, because you're going to have a whole other problem getting it out, and that'll be a failure. So the first thing I usually do is take one of these drill bits, snap it off so it's very close to the main shaft of the drill bit, and then I prepare that drill bit. And what I do is, if this were the drill bit, sorry about all this moving around, this is the drill bit here, and then the drill bit itself tapers down like this, and then the drill bit is like this, and I snap it off around here like that, and then the remainder, if I look at the tip of this drill bit like this, and what I do, if this were the tip and then it goes out like that, just pretend it's zoomed in. This is a zoomed in part here, and it's like this. I take the tip of the drill bit and I make a hat, even though the drill bit is spiraled like a normal drill bit and the tip is made to drill in. I make a hat, which is what a conventional drill bit in watchmaking used to look like, and then the hat itself is sharpened on one side, on the side that it's rotating to cut into the material, and then this hat does the cutting. So I use a diamond plate to do that, and then I cut this. I have snapped this off. I've got a lot more strength and I'm able to start the drilling. Sometimes I've been able to continue the drilling into the shaft with the snubbed off drill bit and the hat, and then sometimes I've been able to use the full drill bit after I've created my cone in here, which is centering the shaft. So I'm centering this with the dog. So this thing here would look like this, like that, and it would be perfectly centered, and then the drill bit would be in the back. The drill bit would be in the tail stock, and then be able to push this in with controlled force. And as I drill this and I push this in with controlled force, I use cutting oil in order to create enough friction here, controlled friction here, to remove the swath of material that needs to be removed. So you use cutting oil and it really improves the cutting of the drill bit. So that, my friends, is the process I'm going to try to do this. So if I fail miserably, I can always buy the part. So, and just for if Grant is listening to this right now, don't worry, I'm not going to charge you for the hours for me to do this. So I'll look upon this as a learning exercise, and if I'm successful, that's great. And we've saved the price of the part. If I had to buy the part, I'd have to pass the cost of the part on forward to the customer, Grant, and I'd rather not do that. So I'd rather just do the work, drill the hole, pivot it, chalk it up to experience. I don't do this work, this watchmaking work, to make money. I do this as a hobby, and I do this just because I enjoy it, I guess. That's why. So my wife's joke was, how do you become a millionaire fixing watches? You start as a billionaire. So that's this very quick video. I'll probably use this as my drawing for the video, even though it's messy. I hope that was enjoyable and understanding. So the next thing I'll do is set this up on my lathe. I'm going to try to use the microscope to record if I can, and I'll show the process of actually doing this. And again, if I fail at it, I'm going to show the process right through to failure. But I should be successful. The only concern I have is how brittle these drill bits are on the tip, because these are circuit board drill bits. They're made for drilling into circuit boards. They are titanium, or carbide rather. They're carbide drill bits. They are brittle, but I've used them before successfully in repivoting. So, and I don't think I can heat up the tip here to soften up the metal to be able to drill better. I'll just try it first to see how well it removes material. If it's having an issue, then I might try to use my soldering iron, my battery powered soldering iron, to anneal this, to temper it or anneal it, one or the other, to soften the material up and allow me to drill that a little bit easier. So that's it. I'm JD, so thanks for watching this. This is going to be an interesting exercise to try to save the escapement. Save the escapement. That's what I'll call it. I'll call it Save the Escapement. Thanks a lot. Please subscribe. Please hit like, and I love comments, so lay in the comments, folks.